in our product or service. They just weren't ready to buy at that particular time in your purchasing life cycle. And it doesn't matter what product you have, every product has a purchasing life cycle. And basically what that means is from the time somebody decides they need a product or service, from the time they actually purchase, there's a different time duration for each product. And I'm sure that each one of you know what that is for your particular product or service. But the important thing is when it comes to remarketing, because we know that only about 96, 97% of the people that come to our website through some sort of marketing that we're doing actually purchase from us the first time they hear about us. So what we want to do is we want to increase those percentages by reminding people of our products or services. And the thing about it is that 11% of brands use retargeting methods like remarketing to gain their customers and actually take customers away from their competitors by keeping your product or service top of mind. 56% of companies use retargeting to gain new customers. And again, what that means is when people are searching out a company, whether they're looking for a reputable company, they're looking for some sort of deal, or if they're looking for a specific service, they're going to look at multiple different companies, and it's the company that reminds them the most or is top of mind is the company they're going to pick when they're ready to purchase. And then 43% of companies use retargeting to increase brand awareness. So what we're going to talk about today is the key to online marketing, how digital ads work, and mortgage company case study. This is a live study that we did where we actually implemented our tracking pixel, gathered a group of people that were interested in the mortgage company's product or service, which was either refinancing or a new mortgage, and then create our own digital display ad, and then closing thoughts, and then at the end of the webinar, I have a big giveaway that we're going to be giving to everybody at no charge. So just a little bit about me. If you know who I am, if you're a current client or a past client, this is a little bit of old information, but for the new people, I am the former online advertising manager for the Daytona Beach News Journal. At the time, that was the 6th largest newspaper in the state of Florida. And the News Journal had brought me in to build their online news edition. And when I actually came on board in 2000, they actually had like a 3-page website. When we left, we had actually built their subscriber base to over 35,000 people that actually came to the online newspaper on a daily basis. And we actually increased the online advertisers from just 10 advertisers per month to over 1,500 advertisers on a daily basis. And we actually took their revenues from about $1,000 a month to over $30,000 a month, and we did that over a 6-year period. Then I actually left in 2007 and founded my own online marketing agency, Local Expert Interviews and Competitive Advantage Marketing. And at that time, we worked with Microsoft and EMC, Jabil Circuit, and a lot of other large corporations. But I really prefer myself to work with small to medium-sized businesses. And the reason being is that large companies can either hire big agencies or they can actually hire rooms full of people to do their marketing. I prefer working with small to medium-sized businesses because, one, the internet marketing space changes so quickly that small companies and medium-sized companies don't have either the resources or the budgets to have somebody on staff full-time. So that's why we do these educational programs. And then we also work with these companies to give you the skills, to give you the tools that the big companies are using, but make it affordable for the small to medium-sized companies. So that being said, the keys to online marketing, just some of the basics is we need to constantly be attracting new customers. And then the ones that don't buy from us right away, we need to remind them of who we are, our products and services, and of course, keep our company's brand top of mind. So basically, the 3 levels of your online presence should be, of course, to set up your digital storefront, which is your website, and then also your other free digital storefronts, which is your social media, whether that's Google+, whether that's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. There are several of the big six that we really focus on, but we can talk about that in another webinar. But setting up your digital storefront is just as important as having a physical brick and mortar storefront. Then step number 2 is to build your 5-star reputation. When people are looking to purchase a product or service, they're really looking for one of 3 things. They're looking for a reputable company, they're looking for a specific product or service, or they're looking for a specific discount or incentive to purchase that product or service. And then level 3 is to market to get more customers, and there's a variety of ways to do that. Today we're going to talk about remarketing. So what exactly are digital display ads? Digital display ads are the ads that you see when you go to different websites over on the top of the page in a banner ad on the right-hand side where you have a 250 by 250 ad or the big, tall, long ones. Maybe sometimes they're in the middle of the page. And if you go to any of the major websites, those are the big graphical ads that you see all over the website. So your ad experiences. Have you ever wasted money on an ad that brought you 0 customers or revenue? If you've been in business for more than 2 days, I guarantee you've tried an advertising program that you tried and it didn't work. I've done it in my business. Every business owner I've ever done worked for or worked with has had programs that worked or didn't work. And the important thing about that is to rely on the experience of someone who has actually had a program that has actually worked online. So what type of discount or offer did you use when you've actually tried some of those ads that you've done, whether it's PPC or display advertising? Have you kept track of the return on investment, how many impressions, that sort of thing? Do you have any experience with actually seeing what converted, how much you spent, and how much you got back in actual revenues? Have you done online advertising before other than display ads, like pay-per-click, whether that's on Facebook or whether that's on Google? And how do you follow up with prospects right now that visit you online but don't buy right away? Do you have any programs in place that takes care of that automatically? Now, I don't know if you're aware of the rule of 7, but basically the rule of 7 means you need to remind somebody 7 times before they'll actually pay attention to either your product, your service, or your brand. And if you imagine driving by a billboard each day on the highway, the first few times you see the billboard, the ad doesn't consciously trigger or register with you. But after you drive by a few more times, you finally remember the ad, and if you're interested in the offer, you might write down the phone number or the web address. You need to see a marketing message 7 times before you take action. A perfect example of that is if you notice when you're watching television, whether it's cable or broadcast, you'll see the same television commercial a couple of times per hour in the particular time that advertiser has set aside to deliver their message. And that is, again, falling under that same rule of 7. They know that they have to repeat their message over and over and over again before they separate their message out from the clutter of all the other advertising. So the problem with that is ad fatigue or banner blindness. Humans value both repetition and diversity. But what happens when someone sees the same ad too often? That's right, you just stop seeing it. When you see the ad too many times, it starts to become invisible and you no longer take action. That's a diminishing return on your investment. So it's important to change your ads once people stop clicking. And of course, that's why it's so important when you have a tracking program so that you can see how many times an ad is seen, how many times it's clicked, and then track that over time. And again, then we can actually see the trend of the number of clicks per 1,000 views actually increase, decrease, or stay steady. So that being said, once we start tracking, are you familiar with the concept of split testing? Have you ever thought your ad was awesome, but then none of your customers ever clicked on it or called you? Well, what we can do then is change up one thing in that ad to see if it makes a difference. And what we recommend is to create at least 2 to 3 ads per month to find out what works. Ad creation is both an art and a science, but you can never guarantee something's going to work unless you test it. And with all of our clients, we recommend testing continuously and often. And then once we determine which ads work, what content works, what offers work, what discounts work, only then do we actually increase the amount of money we're spending on that particular ad. So in other words, bottom line is we want to split test, find out what works, and once it works with a small budget, then we can actually increase the budget, which then increases our return on investment, which then increases our revenues on a monthly basis. So, how online ads work? What are the fundamentals of digital ads? So, if we take a look at digital ads, most people are familiar with PPC or pay-per-click. That's the stuff you see on Google. Now, digital display ads are the ads that are actually little pictures or they're little videos, and it's those videos or the images that actually give people the opportunity to actually see our product or service as opposed to read about it. Now, PPC marketing is placing your ad in front of someone based on words they search for. AC repair, air conditioning, mortgage services, that sort of thing. Display ad marketing is placing your ads on website based on your target market's interests. So the difference is somebody specifically looking for a product or service. A display ad is based on the target market might have an interest, say, in if they had a pet, say a dog or a cat, and they're going to a dog or a cat grooming website or a blog, then the ads that are geared toward those people show up on those websites. Now, when it comes to pay-per-click, you only pay for the clicks, and they can range anywhere from $20 to $80 depending on the competition in that particular space. If you were in pet grooming, it's probably anywhere from $10 to $12 a click. If you're in the mortgage space or the financial space, then that's where those clicks can get up to $60, $70, $80 a click. No branding or the ability to follow up with people that click on your ad. That's the problem with pay-per-click ads, whether it's on Google or Facebook. Now, digital ads, you usually pay on the cost of impressions, not clicks. And the reason why is because those images actually can foster your brand or the product that you want people to become familiar with. And again, the range for 1,000 images, generally the range is somewhere between $25 to $50 per 1,000 impressions. And long-term branding and the ability to follow up with visitors based on the engagement level, that's one of the advantages of digital display ads. So there are two types of display ad marketing. All right. First is what we're talking about now, which is retargeting ad traffic. And that's 96% of the website visitors that come to your website don't actually take action right away. The second form is cold ad traffic. These are people that don't know who you are and have never clicked on a link that went to your website. But this is a very effective way to drive new customers to your front door, so then we can actually start retargeting. So basically, graphically, I want to show you how it works with retargeting. Is that someone visits your website through some form of marketing that you're doing, and we actually take and drop a browser pixel on their computer so that we can identify that person, and then we market only to the website visitors that actually leave your website and go to other websites. And then we follow them around for 1 to 3 months until they're ready to buy. And that's, again, targeting the people that we know are interested in that product or service over the lifetime of that purchase cycle. So let's talk about cold traffic. We place ads on sites that your customers have interests in. If you were in the pest control business, people that are searching for information on a variety of different problems, whether it's ants, whether it's termites, whether it's palmetto bugs or cockroaches, that sort of thing. There are blogs and people that provide information, and you can place ads on those websites. Then once somebody goes to that website, they can see your ad on the right-hand side. They can we can actually click on your ad and learn more, or they can actually purchase a product or service. And we market to everyone that visits that site, or only from a specific city or county or a general geographic area. So if you were a business in the Atlanta area and you had an opportunity to place advertising on a website that was in Cleveland, well, you're probably not going to be able to service that customer, so that would be wasted money. So what we want to do is we want to target people that are actually in the areas that we serve. And of course, then we want to split test our offers, our reputation, our brands to maximize clicks. And again, that is a long-term process that we can do over a period of weeks, so we can determine what actually works in the ad, what offers work, whether a buy now button works, whether a learn more button works. So the types of digital display ads is really, it breaks down to 3 types. One is your reputation ads. And again, when somebody's looking to solve a problem or they're looking to buy a service, they're really looking for one of 3 things. They're looking for a reputable company, they're looking for a specific product or service, or they're looking for some sort of incentive. So reputation ads, these are awesome if you already have great 5-star reviews online. If you don't, you want to make sure you have them. 2, branding ads. We want to enhance your brand or celebrate your brand in association with a holiday. If you notice, the large companies never let a holiday go by without running some sort of offer. And of course, offer ads that create a special for potential customers. So these are a couple of examples that I wanted to show you of just different websites that we've looked at and some of the different ads that we've run for our different customers. This is News 9 out of Denver. And if you notice over on the right-hand side here, what we have is, let me just highlight that for you right here, is we'll see that we actually have a 5-star reputation that we've actually collected for a client, and we've actually used that to show people that this company is very reputable. These guys are fast and have amazing customer service. And again, we put in the phone number in case somebody wants to call right away, or what we found is that learn more tends to work better than anything else. So now if I go on to the next page, this is an example that we took off of a local affiliate for ABC News. And again, you can see over the right-hand side, we've got the information, but then the ad shows up here over on the lower right-hand side. So basically, those are just 2 examples of how we get those display ads on information-type websites. So when it comes to a retargeting strategy, again, someone visits your website, we capture that person by dropping a browser pixel, we market only your market only to your website visitors on any other site that they're interested in, and then we follow them around for 1 to 3 months until they're ready to buy. Now, the problem, every visitor is a potential buyer from today to 3 months from now. There's no way of knowing who's who, but we do know that they all fit into one of 3 categories. They're looking for a good deal, so what we want to do is make sure that we have offer ads. They're looking for a company with a good reputation, so we want to have a series of ads that show that you're 5-star reputation. And then third, people are looking for a specific product or service, and that has to do with branding ads, whether that's just your logo or a testimonial from a happy customer. And the secret that your competitors don't know is that you can 10 times your results if you retarget each buyer for 3 months. And again, when people are coming to look for a product or service, they're checking out you, but they're also checking out your competition. And by making sure that your brand, your product, your service, your reputation is in front of them all the time, you become top of mind, and not only are you going to get that customer, but then your competitor is not going to get that customer. That's why it's so important to switch up your messaging on a regular basis. It helps you stay top of mind, and it prevents banner blindness if you just run one ad. So the big idea is ad creation should be cost effective, allow businesses to retarget 100% of their customers, and to help businesses market their services, their brand, their offers, and their 5-star reputation. And that's why we created this program, and we've invested in our online ad program to help smaller companies do what only the big companies can do. The reason why this is so important is that retargeting is actually more effective than any SEO you're doing. And again, the problem with search engine optimization is that Google and Facebook change their algorithms so often that all the work that you can put in over a period of 3 or 4 months, Google can make go away in a matter of days. PPC or even television advertising. Retargeting is by far the most effective and cost-effective thing you can do, because we know that those people that came to you and were investigating you already know who you are and they know your products and services. Now it's just a matter of getting them to take action. So let's talk about a 10x retargeting funnel. What we can do over a period of time is offer a product or service at a discount or some other incentive, and then we can follow that up, say 7 to 10 days later, is that offer ad is not displayed anymore. Now we display a reputation ad. So people know that you have an offer for a product or service, and now they're saying, hey, this company is really good because they've serviced another customer that was very happy with them. Then we can actually do another offer either for the same product or a different product. Then we sprinkle in another reputation ad, and then we actually, instead of going and making another offer, then we can actually just talk about some general information about your company or a particular product that they might be interested in. And again, what we're doing there is we're not hitting them over the head with offer, offer, offer. What we're doing is we're changing up the message so that we can build authority for your company. Then we can go to another product that you offer, another service, or something new that you might be trying to test in the marketplace. Then we can go back to offering a discount or some other incentive, because by now they're aware of your product or service. We've incentivized them. They've become comfortable with your reputation. They've become comfortable with your brand, and they can see that you do many other things. All of this builds authority. Again, we back that up with reputation, another offer, another product or service, and then again another discount. So you can see as we change that message back and forth, we're eliminating banner blindness, and we're creating curiosity, and we're creating authority in the marketplace. So now let's actually get into a real-world example of a client that we have and the results of a retargeting program we did for this mortgage company. So this is, I have a mistake here. That shouldn't say mortgage. That should say HVAC. Anyway, this is a HVAC company that we did. Again, HVAC is AC. This is, I'm in Daytona Beach, Florida, and this is a time of the year in August where we've got heat and humidity. So it's important that when your AC goes down, that you call the person that can fix it as quickly as possible. And of course, none of us keep that number on hand already. So what's the first thing somebody does is they go and they do a search for the first company that comes up. And then of course, once you get it fixed, then what ends up happening, and this happened to me last summer, is that once the AC went down, then we found other things that needed to be fixed. So of course, then I started going back to the company that I was looking at, or that I had done business with in the past. So bottom line is that cold display ads, the average click-through rate that we actually got for that company, or that we've actually found, is about 0.06. So what that means is that for every 100 times that an ad is displayed, that we're going to get about 6 clicks. So that's 6 clicks for every time that the ad is displayed. And then that was from a cold traffic program. Now, when we ran the retargeting display ads, we actually found that the average click-through rate was about the same, but we actually had a higher participation rate. Now, the average pay-per-click cost was between $22 and $51. That was average, and the keywords were for AC service, air conditioning repair, and air conditioning services. So for 10,000 impressions, we saw a click-through rate of about 6%, and then the retargeting, we actually saw 60 clicks, which was still at the 6% rate. So the traffic summary, campaign duration, impressions, and clicks, and of course click-through rate. And what we actually found, the click-through rate for the retargeted ads was actually higher, 113% higher than the industry average. Now the audience, again, this is where we target the people that are local to the business in the United States, and we picked one city, and we actually had a reach which was 955 people that had been pixeled by going to their website. And the devices were the phone, a tablet, and a desktop. So basically what we did is the type of ads that we ran for the HVAC company was the reputation ads. And these, obviously this ad that I have over here, just I want to make a point of this over here, is I'm not actually going to show the ad. And the reason why is it's a reputation ad, and we want to protect the identity of this particular customer so nobody actually targets them. But the rotation was we did reputation ads, and we actually found that the reputation ad actually found the highest number of clicks compared to an offer ad or just a brand ad. Oh, let me go back one. And of course, when we talked about call to action ads, help my air conditioner is broken, and learn more. And we provide the phone number and of course a logo. And then one of the most important things that we do, especially when it comes to split testing, is that the image that we provide, like we have a picture of somebody sitting on a couch, looks like the shirt's a little bit sweaty, and of course they look like they're in distress. That picture compared to another picture where we actually show a broken machine, or if we actually put in a picture of just the broken machine itself, we can actually see variations in the click-through rate based on that split testing. And again, this particular ad actually ranked second in the highest number of clicks. So first was the reputation ad, and then second was my air conditioner was broken. And again, that goes back to the most important thing people are looking for, especially when it comes to blue-collar work and contractors, is do they have a good reputation? So in creating your own display ads, if you're going to go ahead and build your own ads, here are the nuts and bolts so that you can actually put together your own display ads yourself. One is you want to create an account for yourself on one of the major networks for your company. Then you want to be able to manage this account, familiarize yourself with how the system works, and ad placement and funding. There's several different companies. If you just do a search for display ad providers, you'll get probably 10 or 15 different companies that come up. And just pick one and just get in there and start looking around and see how any particular system works. Now, one of the things that we highly recommend is set up a separate call tracking number for any advertising you're doing, especially with display ads, and that will help you not only take a look at your return on investment from a impressions point of view, from a click-through, but then also anybody that actually calls the phone number, because especially in today's day and age, not a lot of people want to actually click on a link and then go through to either a sales page or just go through to another website. They just want to solve the problem, especially if your air conditioning's out, it's hot in your house, there's a lot of humidity, you just want somebody to come and fix the damn thing. So a lot of times people won't even click on an ad, they'll just call the number, and if we have a separate tracking number, then you'll actually know that it applied to that particular ad. And then lastly, place a unique number on all of your ads, and by unique number, I'm talking about a specific phone number that is different for each one of your advertising venues, but they can all go through to one main number like your main phone number. So, ad retargeting code. One, you can either work with Google Analytics or the provider that you pick that you're running your ads through and generate a tracking pixel. That pixel is what you're going to use to identify the people that come to your website. You definitely want to put that in the header code of each page of your website, and make sure that if somebody just partially loads a page, the reason we put it in the header tag is if somebody just partially loads a page and then goes on to another page, that tracking pixel will fire. If you put it at the bottom of the page, if they don't load the whole page, then you don't track that visitor. Now, the design of banner ads. this is probably the most critical part. Design the ad sets to convey your chosen message. And there are a variety of different sizes on the internet today. It all depends on the design of the website. But really, what we've narrowed it down is between 9 and 15 different ad sizes. And you want to make sure that once you come up with the type of ad that you want to run, whether that's a reputation ad, an offer ad, or a brand ad, then you want to make sure that you resize it for the 9 to 15 different sizes. Once you get that done, then you want to take that ad set and then you want to create small changes to one aspect or one element of that ad so that you can actually do your split testing. And again, that can be as simple as changing colors to changing a picture. So now you've got one ad design and you create 15 different sizes, then you make a change to that ad, whether it be a color or a picture, and then do it again, create 9 to 15 different sizes so that you can actually put that into the ad management system and you can actually see which one actually has a higher return on investment. You want to make sure that you work with a designer that knows how to design online ads to get clicks, or you're going to waste a lot of money. I've done this myself. That's why in the beginning, if you've never done this work before, it's very effective to actually hire somebody that has experience with this because if you're going to do it yourself, you're going to spend a little bit of money on stuff that doesn't work. And of course, include your ad tracking numbers on all of your ads to make sure you can track if somebody doesn't click, if they just call you, and you want to make sure that you use clean, high-resolution pictures and logos. If you don't, when the ads resize, sometimes they get blurry. So, deposit money, set a budget. Each individual company handles this differently. Basically, you want to fund your account, put it on a credit card to get things going. A reasonable starting budget for an effective split test is anywhere on the low end from $500 up to $1,000 a month. And then with that budget, then you want to send a daily or a weekly budget on your campaign. And then, of course, limit the ads shown each day. Now, let me just say that you want to make sure whatever system that you use that you limit the amount of money that you can spend each day. And the reason why is that you want to make sure that your ads have a lifetime of viewing over that 30-day period, over that monthly period. It's very, 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 let me say it again, very easy to, if you don't set that budget limit per day, to go through the entire ad budget in a matter of hours. So, again, warning, it's very easy to spend $500 in one day if you don't put limits on your ads. And by that, you can also go in and if your business is not open 24 hours a day, you're only open from 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, you don't want to be advertising when you're not open in case somebody does have a need, they call you on the phone and you don't answer the phone because it's 11 o'clock at night, then they're going to call somebody else. Now, if you have a call center that is available 24/7, then you can think about running your advertising 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because air conditioners go down. But again, if you don't have that in place, it's very smart to only run the advertising while your business is open, and then that also helps you keep your daily budget down. So, enable ads and measure results. This is key and very important. When you first start a campaign, review the results on a daily basis. With our campaign managers, each one of our clients, that's what they go through in the morning. They come in, they take a look at the analytics, they see which ads are performing, which ones aren't performing, and then over time we'll take an evaluation and see if we pull the ads that are not performing, we'll pull those offline and save that money. Once we determine that over the first or second week, then we move to a weekly review, especially when we determine the ads that are working. If ads are not converting or getting clicks, you can take those offline and redesign a new ad set, come up with a new offer, and switch them out. And of course, turn off ad sizes that aren't generating clicks to optimize your campaign. So, track your ROI. When you first start a campaign review the results daily. Then move to a weekly review. And if your ads are not converting and getting clicks, pull them offline, get them redesigned, and put them back up, and it's a continuous process to see what works. And again, turn off any ad sizes that aren't generating clicks, because if you don't have clicks, then you don't have people actually purchasing your product or service. So the key takeaways: banner ads, retargeting, and conversion. 5 powerful reasons display ads work. 1, they position you and your company as a market leader for very little cost compared to PPC. Retarget 100% of your visitors and stay in front of them until they're ready to buy throughout the entire sales process and the sales cycle. Get in front of thousands of new customers each month with a cold traffic campaign, and then of course retarget them. Change ads instantly based on visitors' interests and behavior. Market your reputation, your brand, and your offers, because again, when people are looking to buy a product or service, they're looking for the most reputable company, especially in today's day and age. They're looking for a brand that they can trust, that they know, that they're familiar with, and they're looking for some sort of incentive. Incentives don't have to be discounts. Incentives can be like Publix does, a 2-for-1 offer, or it can just be a special, a birthday, whatever incentive that you want to put together. Now, as I said, you sat through this entire presentation. What we would like to do is we would like to give every single one of the people that are on this webinar a free retargeting pixel. If you're wondering what the code looks like, that's what it looks like. And again, for everyone, we will set up a retargeting pixel for you so that you can see how many people are coming to your website that you're currently missing. This is a service that we actually offer for $97, but because you sat through this entire webinar, if you'll just go to website pixel.competitiveadvantagemarketing.com, just for being on this webinar, we'll actually set that up for you, and we'll actually email you the pixel and also the directions and how you can put it on your website. If you don't have somebody that does that for you, we'd be more than happy to do that for you. It's real simple. But again, that's just a bonus for coming on this webinar, is that we'll provide that tracking pixel to you if you don't have one. And then down the road, you can see how many people, if it's 50 people a month, 100 people a month, 1,000 people a month, then you can make a decision whether you want to start tailoring your marketing to those people. Now, for everyone that's on this webinar, again, you can get your free tracking pixel at website pixel.competitiveadvantagemarketing.com. And if you missed anything in this webinar that you thought was interesting, we are going to actually be doing an encore presentation tonight. It'll be available at 8 p.m. We'll be sending out that email sometime around 7. So hopefully there was a lot of information on this particular webinar that you liked, that you found interesting. If you're not doing retargeting, I would highly suggest taking a look at some of the different companies that are out there so that you can actually investigate how to do retargeting more with some of those different services. And again, if you want to find out how many people, before making that decision, how many people are coming to your website that is your potential market, get your free pixel from us at website pixel.competitiveadvantagemarketing.com. Hopefully you found this very interesting. We'll be doing these every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, and we'll be sending out an invitation on Friday with next week's topic. Thanks for coming to the webinar. Hope everybody has a great day.